Hello everyone, Nicole Powell here, your straight talk, no chaser guide to freedom, choosing to live in the presence of truth or nothing at all. Yo, I am in Tulum, Mexico for a wellness retreat, honey, sexual alchemy tantra retreat, and it has been the most mind-blowing, how many days have I been here? 4 days? No, yeah, 4.5 days of my life. Whew, y'all, I got a story. I got a story to tell y'all. If you want to hear it, stick around. I stayed at the most beautiful resort in Tulum called Holistika. It was a very beautiful hotel right in the middle of the Tulum jungle, and the rooms were absolutely gorgeous. Look at this gorgeous room. I have finally made it to Tulum. It is absolutely breathtaking. I'll be here at this resort for the next 9 days. Look, I have to do my ratchet shit in the room because it's basically like I'm staying at an ashram. That's what this experience is like. Whew, this is beautiful. I'm on my way to the workshops for today. We are supposed to be there at 11. I have no idea what to expect. So I guess I'll check in later and let y'all know. Hi. All right, see y'all later. All right, so I know I'm new here to YouTube, so a lot of y'all don't know my story. So this video may be long, it may not be long, I don't really know, but I am gonna give you all some context so you all will understand how I've gotten to where I am today, okay? So I've been in the sex world for many, many years. I kind of grew up very fast, watching pornography and having sex very early. I started having sex at 12, started masturbating even before that. So my sexual exploration started at a very, very young age. And so that led me to want to explore more and more and more. And because pornography was my teacher, I was introduced to very raunchy, fast-paced, friction-based sex, okay? And that's what I chased. And eventually it became an addiction. Anytime I felt out of whack or, maybe felt overwhelmed in school or stressed, with my mom or my brother or just household vibrations, I would turn to sex, regardless if that was me watching, popping in a porn tape and me masturbating for hours or, seeking out some boy to give me that high, that oxytocin, that serotonin, whatever chemical, whatever chemical decides to arise in that moment. So it definitely became an addiction for me. And so as I got older, the threshold got higher and higher and higher. So, porn, of course, it always did it for me, but the very mundane, vanilla sex essentially got very boring. I needed more. So now I'm adding in girls, right? I had sex with girls for years. I mean, from the time I was like 18 to about 25, I had sex with girls because I was watching porn and I saw girl on girl and it would arouse me. So I felt like, yo, I like girls. It took me a while to realize, ew, I don't like women at all. Okay, I never took into consideration the fact that I was never truly fulfilled in these sexual encounters. I was just doing it, right? Always disconnected, always high, drunk, off some sort of stimulus, right? Or thinking about the porn that I've watched. So the threshold continued to get higher. So then when the girls no longer did it for me, then I needed some pain. Let's add some pain in there, right? Let's add the BDSM 50 Shades of Grey, tie me up, spank my ass, you know what I'm saying? Blindfold me, choke me a little bit. I needed to add in pain, you know, in order to feel something. Because I had basically desensitized myself with all of the other stimuli, right? Then I added in vibration, okay? Because my pussy, you know, I don't even know if you can say these words on YouTube. I am new here, right? Y'all gonna get to know me. I'm real, I'm real blunt, I'm real direct. I'm gonna try to keep it as PG as possible because, you know, obviously I have my daughter in these videos too, and I would love for you to be able to watch these videos with your child. But at the same time, I am who I am. I'm a cusser, okay? I like to tell it like it is. I'm real and direct, and I like to use slang, okay? So that just is what it is. But I am gonna try my best to keep it PG or 13 or whatever. But I started using the vibration, you know, and that desensitized me. And, you know, just so much. And so then it got to a point where I had to get screwed by 2 men at once. And then I had to, you know, screw very random men or do very risky things to get that adrenaline rush. And it all just became very overwhelming for me. And I had an aha moment. I was sleeping with someone and he was doing the whole, you know, rough daddy thing, okay? And I think he called me the B word. And I just was like, normally that would be something that I'm into, okay? Yeah, call me a B, you know, whatever. But this really just did something to me in that moment where I was like, don't call me that, you know? And it kind of shifted something for me. And I was like, yo, I don't like this. I don't like what I'm doing here. Let's reel this back in. What is this? And so I realized in that moment that I had a sex addiction. Addicted to sex. And I had never admitted that before. I'm just like, yeah, I love sex. I'm just this sexual liberated person. And I just, you know, I love sex. And I built many businesses around my love for sex. And I made a whole lot of money around my love for sex. So it all just seemed right. It all just seemed good until I had this aha moment. And I was like, yo, this has all been a lie. I've built all of this shit based off of false feelings, off of false illusions in my mind, things that I decided were real for me, although they truly didn't serve me, right? And so I had this aha moment, and I got a sexual alchemy coach. Shout out to Devontae Sheard, the most amazing human being I have ever encountered in my existence of being. He has helped me in ways that I could never repay him for. Just to give him thanks and praise. And so I started doing the sexual alchemy rituals, which if you're interested in sexual alchemy, you can go to my website. I do teach sexual alchemy, and I can assist you in this journey if that is something that you're interested in. You can also check out Devontae Sheard on Facebook, and he can also assist you in this journey. But I started the sexual alchemy rituals, and then everything started falling off of me. Everything, okay? Like literally like it was magic. I just started doing the work, and all the addictions started falling off. So I was addicted to Black and Milds. That fell off. Addicted to alcohol. Addicted to sex, right? So everything just left me. The pornography left me. Okay, the Black and Milds left me, and what it is the addictions are demons that are attached to us, and that's really the trauma. That's where the trauma comes from. It's not what happens to us, it's what we do with what happens to us, right? So the pornography was the traumatic thing for that 7-year-old little girl. Okay, that was the thing that happened to me. A lot of people are always like, did you get touched? How did you become so promiscuous? Did you get touched? Did you this? No, I didn't. I watched porn. And porn is what traumatized me, because porn gave me false hope and a false idea of what love was, what sex was, what intimacy was. And so I was chasing something that was false this entire time. And I had no idea, because no one ever taught me anything different. Good morning, divine souls. Yesterday was so freaking amazing and transformative, and the whole day was transformative. I really have no words, honestly. I want to go into depth about my experience, but not right now. Today is day 3. Yesterday was day 2. And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm grateful for this experience. I'm grateful for this room and these beds and this amazing view that I get to wake up to every single morning. I'm just grateful. So I just woke up. I'm about to go out to the pool here shortly. I may or may not record how I feel about yesterday, because I'm still at a loss for words. Just so transformative, so amazing. Everyone in the world deserves this healing. And just to kind of bring it to you plain and simple, I mourned last night. I mourn my pain and the pain of the collective, because we are all walking around with so much shit on our bodies, in our joints, in our hearts. You know, I pray peace for us all. I pray healing for us all. And I'm gonna come back with a better explanation on what I experienced yesterday. So I'll see y'all soon. So I continued to do the work and continue to just allow everything to fall off. I threw away all my vibrators, all of my $150, $200 vibrators, y'all, in the trash. Got rid of the porn, did everything Sexual Alchemy told me to do. And I became this very energetic, blissful, loving being. But I still had some trauma in some areas. The most, where most of my trauma still resided was in my womb, or in my sacral area, because when I got rid of the porn and rid of the vibrators, I didn't know how to make love to my body in a natural way, okay? I've been using stimulants for so long, for so many years. I was desensitized and disconnected from my body, right? And so when I went to masturbate, my body was like, huh? What's that? Right? Like I just didn't even know where to start. I've been watching porn since I was 7. I've been using external objects, glue sticks, antibiotic ointment tubes. I started with all of that. That's what I started penetrating my vagina with when I was 7 and 8 years old, okay? And then I moved on to vibrators. Then I moved on to dildos. All of these fake ass objects penetrating my body and giving me a false idea of what intimacy and feeling is. It's fake feelings. It's fake feelings, y'all. So when I had to get into the real feelings and feel my body and be present, right, and not on any stimulants, I had no idea what to do. My body was disconnected. So I decided to go to this retreat. I am in Tulum, Mexico with Sasha Cobra. She is a tantric body worker and somatic energy healer and teacher. And I wanted to come and see if I could reconnect with my body.
I don't want to hide. I don't want to shy from you. No, I don't want to lie. I don't want to lie and say that I don't want you. So if you could lay your cards right down, I am waiting at the table. If you could show me love somehow, we don't need to have a label. You know that I will love you down. I will be every time faithful. If you could show me all the way around, I will be very, very grateful. Very, very grateful.
So I decided to come to the retreat having absolutely no idea what to expect. I've never been on a spiritual retreat before. It was never anything that I've been interested in, but this called me to it, okay? And so it's been a mind-blowing experience. By day 2, I was literally on the floor gyrating. So I had to pull out my notes because I wanted to remember everything. I have an open head center, which you all will hear me also reference human design a lot because I absolutely love human design. And I have an open head center, so I am not able to retain information very well. Also, if you are interested in knowing more about you and your human design, you can also book a session on my website. Link will be in the description. Yeah, so I pulled out my book so I can remember. So Sasha's whole regimen and how she kind of runs her retreats and does her thing is she wants to remind people how to feel, okay? If you can't feel, you simply can't heal. And a lot of people decide not to feel because it's too painful. The memories are too painful. And so I knew that there was something in me blocking me from being able to feel my body. For me, it was blocking me from, connecting and touching myself in a very sensual, loving way, because I have been very disconnected and touching myself and allowing others to touch me in very disrespectful ways for so many years. So, the trauma is basically the unfinished business that we have to tackle in order to get to the bliss, in order to get to the other side, right? And so Sasha's whole regimen and goal here at the retreat is having you feel those feelings. So night 1, and I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to really go into what we did because that would be very difficult to explain. But I will tell you how my body felt and the revelations that I had in those moments. So the first night, in order to feel the feelings, it's a lot of breath work. It's a lot of feeling the energy in your body start to circulate, right? And connecting with that and going within and meditating on that deep within yourself. And it's not an easy process because so many people have been disconnected for so long. They don't even know how to drop down into their body and connect with what they are feeling while they are not high, drunk, whatever, totally sober and connecting with what's going on inside of you. So for the first night, I cried, okay? And you have to understand when people around you are also doing this deep energy breath work and things start to come up and they start to use their voices and they let out sound, right? Some people can feel anger. Some people can be frustrated. Some people can be very orgasmic and blissful. Some people can be sad and cry, right? So you hear all of these other voices around you. And sometimes different sounds can also be very triggering for you. And that's what I found with myself. In relationship, I've always had a very difficult time hearing others' voices, hearing their perspectives, their opinions, or even how they feel, right? I've always shut it down, don't want to hear it, go on, tell a therapist, whatever you got to do. And so when I started to hear the voices and people expressing themselves, it triggered something inside of me. And I started crying, a very deep cry, and it penetrated down in my soul, y'all. And so the first day, I really didn't get a revelation on what exactly released. I know something released, not sure what exactly it was, but something released on that first night, and I slept like a freaking baby. I now know what released, and it was the fact that I was not heard as a child. My mother obviously had a hard time hearing others, and that must have been a trigger for her. So she shut me down a lot, and my voice wasn't heard as a kid, and I felt that night. Second day, same thing, alone, diving deep into our breath, diving deep into the body, placing our hands on whatever part of our body has stress, has tension. I hold a lot of the tension of my tension in my back, and in the middle part of my back. There was a lot of tension to the point where I'm going to the chiropractor every week. I'm having to do these back stretches and shit. And so, I placed my hand on the front of my body because that's what penetrates the back, and got deep down in the breath work. Okay, deep down in it, feeling the feelings. And this revelation surprised me and actually was totally amazing and life-changing for me, because I have ran with the story that I was abandoned. Okay, I tell everybody I have abandonment issues, and that's why I can't be alone, and I like to chase sex so I can feel this love and all of this stuff, right? So I have always ran with my mother abandoned me in her alcoholism, and really never really talked about my father and feelings of abandonment with him. It was really more so geared towards my mom. Okay, and so in that moment when I was deep diving into the feeling and holding myself here, my hands started to tingle. And I mean tingle I don't know if y'all have ever had your foot go to sleep and when it starts to wake up, it starts to tingle really, really bad. That's how it feels. The energy coming into the body is a very tingling sensation. And so while my hands were here, my hands started to tingle. Energy was just pouring into my body. And then I got a download, and it was my sweet, sweet mother. My mommy came to talk to me, and she just wanted to remind me how I was never freaking abandoned. Okay? She never abandoned me. She was always there for me. Always. There wasn't a time she was not there for me. Yeah, she dealt with what she dealt with, and she had, her human experience and things, but she was never not there. And even in her death, right? Some would say, well, she abandoned you in death, but that's not true, because her spirit is so, y'all, when I tell you, y'all will never hear me talk about my mother's death being traumatic for me, ever, because it wasn't. It was the most beautiful experience I've ever experienced. And then getting to the other side, now that her spirit is in divinity and so enlightened and godlike, she helps me in a way that she couldn't help me in her human life. So I'm not even abandoning her death because, baby, she's so deep off in my heart, deep off in my aura, deep off in my space. Like, whew, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it because, yes, like she never abandoned me. And I ran with this story, and so I held so tight to it, and that was my excuse for searching for love outside of myself. And so in that moment, that released, y'all. All the pain in my back released. It was like magic. And I mean, y'all might think I'm cuckoo or witchy or whatever the case may be, and it was anger. Like, it was anger. I was angry at something, I guess, but it was like false anger. It was weird. And it just released. But then I also learned something else in that moment. I was putting so much emphasis on my mother and me feeling as though she abandoned me. But really, the pain had so much to do with my father. And Dad, if you're watching this, I am sorry that, it's coming out like this or whatever, but I will tell you how I feel. This was something that was unconscious to me, kind of probably in my subconscious. A shaman told me a while ago that my inner child needed to deal with some daddy issues. And I just kept putting it off because I was like, okay, my dad was always in my life. He was always present, kind of distant because my mom and dad weren't together, but he was always there. He was always, if I called him, he coming, he's present. But there's still something that my inner child has to deal with in regard to my dad. And it can even be some past shit, with like my mom's dad. It's something regarding a male figure and abandonment that still has to be dealt with. And I will be honest, hasn't been dealt with yet. And it's like day 4.5 on this retreat. I tapped into it a little bit, which I may get to, but it hasn't been fully worked through. And so that revelation was so amazing because it cleared up the energy in my back, all the tension, all the stress. And that brings me into the ailments that we have in our bodies. I have friends that say, oh, my sciatic nerve hurts. You know what I'm saying? My shoulders hurt. I got knee aches and joint pain and all of this shit that's in our bodies. I really want you all to understand that is the trauma. The aches and pains in your body is the trauma that you've held on tight, okay? It has now manifested in your body as disease. It all makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And so you have to heal the trauma and feel the feelings, and the shit don't feel good, y'all. The shit is crazy. So leading into that night, so this was during the day, I had this beautiful aha moment, right? And released the pain in my back. Then that night, we did another group session where, we're breathing and everything's coming up. And this time, y'all, we were laying on the floor, and the amount of terror and just darkness that ran through my system in that moment. I mean, pain, y'all. Like I was rocking, like I was possessed, and tapping my feet and moving my hands and just, it was crazy. Like I just felt like everything was coming up and coming through me and coming out, and I just let myself feel all that shit. And everything that I've been through up until now prepared me for that shit. I went on a 15-day fruits and vegetable challenge where I had to go through the withdrawal period. I had to feel every fucking feeling in my body. I had to deal with that shit head on. I went sober. I released every fucking thing holding me back, and I felt those feelings. That's why you can't tell me that you done this work, because this work is painful and this work takes time. And everything that you've been through, you will see. It's like the dots start to connect, and everything makes sense. I was laying in my bed watching YouTube, and all of a sudden this video pops up about a man eating raw fruits and vegetables for 90 days. And I'm like, why the hell does this video pop up? I don't watch health food videos. That's not my thing. Why would you recommend this video to me? It's all divine. It's all on the divine timing. I had to prepare my body. I had to prepare my mind. I had to have this shift, and I had to feel what it feels like to feel the aches, feel the pain, feel all the chemicals releasing, cleanse my body on a cellular level, and that prepared me for the amount of pain I would endure in this moment, y'all. I can't even tell you how painful it was. I was howling like a wolf. Yes, howling like a wolf. And when it was over, I just lay back and breathe through it. It was also very triggering for me because people around me, I could hear their orgasmic sounds and the bliss coming out and them in very happy places, and that isn't what I felt. I felt so much pain, so much sorrow, so much trauma, right? And in that moment, I got a revelation, and what released in that moment was the pain from the bodies, all the bodies. Y'all, when I tell you I've been promiscuous, I have no shame around this, none. Okay? It was my life, and I'm very proud of what I've been through because it's got me to where I am. I have lived a very promiscuous life. Okay? I've encountered many bodies, many. And all of that was on me, all of it. Not even the bodies, but the porn. Do you understand when you watch porn how that penetrates into your system? All of that demonic energy, it penetrates into your being. And that shit sits on you, okay? And I felt all of this in that moment. I felt it releasing. I felt it coming out, y'all. And when I tell you that night, I slept like a baby. I don't sleep well. I have insomnia. I had insomnia. I was on Xanax for years to pop one every night just to go to sleep. Okay. Now all of a sudden, I'm releasing this trauma and I sleep like a baby. Oh, look at the magic. Look at the magic. Y'all, this isn't fucking rocket science. It's not rocket science. It's not hard. This is actually really simple shit. The issue is we've never been taught this. And the unfortunate thing is the mentor that I told you has taught me sexual alchemy and this retreat, and it all cost money. It all cost. And some of us, I can't even say that because many of us can afford it. We don't prioritize it, but we also don't even know that a lot of this stuff exists to assist us. We think going and sitting and talking to a therapist, which is helpful because it releases through your throat chakra and you're able to tell truth, and when you can tell truth you have that awareness, which is all very helpful. But still, even speaking it doesn't help you fully heal. Sitting in that pain soberly is what truly helps you heal, finishing the unfinished business, right? And so, y'all, slept like a baby, okay? Still very sad and very angry that I don't feel all of these blissful, orgasmic, feelings that people around me are feeling. I'm feeling all the anger and all the sadness and all this shit is coming up. This space was called the Shala. This is where we did all of our daily activities, all of the energy work, all the breath work. We had some dances. A dance instructor came and we danced the night away in this space. A musician also came and graced us with his presence. Beautiful musician. So this space was quite healing. Back to the shalom now, and we are about to immerse ourselves in a sound bath. So I'm excited. I hope to fall asleep, and I hope when I come back, I just still be asleep. I just hope I float back to my room, sleep, because y'all, I'm tired. It's 9:30. Yeah, past my bedtime. So the following day, we get into partners. I have not been with a man in 6 months, okay? I am on a celibacy journey. I had to cut the sex completely. Just like any other drug, you gotta cut it cold turkey. You gotta rid it from your life in order to heal, right? In order to learn how to have sex in a loving way, in a blissful way, not in a raunchy porn sex way, okay? So having a partner, a male partner, whose intention was to love, was beautiful. Okay, so we got into partners, and I'm partnered with this man from Germany, older guy, probably late or early 50s, late 50s, somewhere around there. The same energy work, right? The same breath work, the same me focusing, deeply connecting into my body, feeling the feelings, and then letting that sound out, feeling the vibrations of whatever is coming up, right? And I just knew with the experience I had the day before, I just knew that I was gonna go crazy again, and all this shit was gonna fucking happen again, and I was just about to, But instead, y'all, I felt very blissful. And the sounds that were coming out of my mouth were very angelic and very orgasmic. And I felt alive for the first time in a very, very long time. I felt alive, and I could hear myself, and I could feel the love and the energy just penetrating throughout my being. And it felt so amazing and so orgasmic, and I just leaned into that, and I just felt the energy. Y'all, I felt the energy all in my body, and I just felt into it. And he was so attentive and so loving and so careful and so intentional and so willing to provide space for me to be in whatever feeling I needed to be in. How often do we get intentional love without the expectation of something in return? Too often we are in situationships and relationships with individuals. It's like, let's do 69. How do you enjoy 69? Okay, how can I give you pleasure and receive pleasure and then be connected to all of that? It's not possible. You can't be in two places at one time. You have to be intentional about what you give. Do that at 100%, right? And then receive at 100%. That's just how that works. You can't do all of this and we've been taught so many lies, y'all. So many. So in that moment, I had the pleasure of being totally cared for and totally taken care of, so I could feel my feelings, and my feelings were orgasmic and blissful, and they made me feel alive, and they made me feel like a woman, and they made me feel loved. Okay? All right? And those were my feelings. I dropped down into that. The love resided inside of me. It was not external. I felt the love that was in me. It allows you to tap into that femininity, tap into the softness of your being, right? I'm a masculine woman, yes, by design. And I'll get into that because, life likes to tell us that women can't be masculine, but that isn't true. And I will provide space for the masculine woman. But when I'm with my man, okay, in the bedroom especially, I want to be soft. I want to be soft. I want to be cared for. I want to be loved. And that's what so many of us are searching on these journeys of promiscuity. We are searching for the love when they can't give you love because they cannot give themselves love. How are they going to give you something they don't even possess for themselves? It is like literally, just a shit show. Y'all, it was mind-blowing. And so from that day forward, I'm not gonna really go into all of the other experiences that I've had here on the retreat after that day, because everything has been blissful. There has been no more super traumatic, things coming up. Everything has been very blissful. Everything, y'all. I know y'all see it. I know y'all see the glow. Don't act like you don't. Don't act like you don't. I know you see the glow. Okay? I see the glow. So I know you see it. Yes. Y'all, I feel amazing. Absolutely amazing. I am not the same person that I was when I came to this retreat. I have been putting in work. People like, where you work at? What you do? Y'all, Nicole.com. That's where the fuck I work. I've been working on me. I've been intentional about this shit because I understand that my livelihood depends on me staying in alignment. And being in alignment means letting go of all parts of you that no longer serve you, to feel the feelings, deal with the feelings, sit in the pain, let that shit go, and be blissful and be happy and be in joy. That's it. That is what it is. You deserve a life in joy. You deserve a life in bliss. You deserve a life in love. Stress don't have to be your story. Depression don't have to be your story. Anxiety don't have to be your story. We hold on to these stories because they are familiar. They make us comfortable. It's what we know. But if you let that go and allow in something new, you have the opportunity to explore a new level. It's real simple, y'all. This is simple shit. It's just unfortunate that we were never taught these things. We were never taught how to cope. We were never taught how to let go, how to release attachments, and how to release demons, right? I got demons. It's demons. These attachments are the demons. Then we get into situationships and be codependent, you know what I'm saying? Because we looking for love externally. We buy all this shit, all the stuff. We want to buy what the Instagram models has got on. And we want to, buy this and buy that and get this new shit. And y'all, that is all looking for love externally. You want some external validation. What do you need the new outfit for? Y'all, I done threw away my whole closet at the crib. Everything. I got a couple pairs of shoes now. I don't need all that shit. I don't need it. Okay? I don't need it. This dress, this beautiful dress I got on was my mother's. My mother's beautiful dress. The thing is that we all need the education, okay? Because we were never given it. And I get that, all right? I get that we were never given this information. So sometimes it's helpful, but you also want to know who you are getting the information from, because some people are giving the wrong information, especially in these spiritual communities. And I've learned so much about the spiritual community, because they, go to all these ayahuasca ceremonies and they do the mushrooms and they go on all these retreats and this becomes their thing. But they never let go of the trauma. They never let go of the hurt. They just are addicted to the education, right? They're addicted to the education, but they don't want to go through the execution process because it's too painful. And so I said, okay, I no longer resonate with the spiritual community because I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with people that don't want to put in the work, right? Well, let me retract that. I will fuck with you, but you're going to have to pay me for my time. I'm not finna sit up here and listen to you go over the same broken record over and over again, nor do I want to be in your company. I want to be around high vibrational beings that are putting in the work and deciding to live a life of joy and bliss and not staying attached to their demons. I don't care to be in company of you, nor am I going to judge you because I don't really give a fuck. It doesn't affect me. Well, I mean, it does affect the collective consciousness of the world, but I want to be in company of people that want to be on another level, on a new level. I am on a new level. Yes. Okay. So, that's what I got for now. I could have more revelations before I leave here. I have 4 more days left, y'all. And I'm counting down the days because you see there's a lot of mosquitoes and there is a lot of spiders and tarantulas and all kind of shit in this goddamn Mexican jungle that I'm over. Yes, I am an American and I have a divine heart center, which I enjoy the material world on a level of luxury. I don't really need stuff, but I do need, you know, a comfy bed. You know, the bed is not even comfortable. And I mean, I hate to say it, but it's just my reality. I like the pillow top plush mattress with the blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I like comfort and I like luxury on that kind of level. And I'm not ashamed about that either, because no, I don't like the stuff, but I do like to live well. It's so true. So, y'all, that's it for now. I'll be back for more.